Sorry, people, for making you waiting. So let's start the session. Today we are going to little more advanced basics in Androids. Firstly, till now we have known how to build classes, functions, and we have seen some objects and methods we have implemented in our apps. So furthermore, we are going to know some basic topics that helps you minimize your code. Okay. Like generally, for example, I just want to ask you people, you're going to conduct an online exam and you're going to prepare some app. So, firstly, what you are going to think, like what kind of questions that we are going to include, and what are the functions that we are going to do there, right? So, can someone talk what kind of questions generally include in an online exam? Can someone tell what kind of questions that we are going, like what different choices? It might be wrong or right. Just tell me. I just want to meet you people to interact with me. So, what are the questions that you're going to get? Okay, then I'll just share. We'll be getting either objective questions or else a fill in the blank question or else true or false kind of questions, right? Do you agree with me? If you agree, keep even thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, great, great. Okay. So, yeah, great. We're getting messy, getting response. Yeah, great. Okay, if you're going to build yeah, you're going to build some application like for an online assessment, and you have three types of questions that you're going to face, and that we are going to get in the Android application, right? So what are the questions like? Yeah, just now I told it. One is objective, one is fill in the blank questions, and another one is true or false kind of questions, right? So, how do we create a class function for that? How do we create a function for that? Let me share my screen and write some code. Is my screen visible, guys? Okay, fine, thank you. So, see here. So, I want to prepare a function in order to include three kinds of questions, right? So for that, I'm creating a function. How do we create a function? Using a fun keyword, right? Fun fun, followed by name of the function. For now, just we'll take a main function. Okay, we'll just directly go into the main function. Okay, so uh, what kind of question we are not going to change the question every time, right? So we'll specify as val only. We are not going for var is used when is var is used when we are changing the values, when it's a kind of variable that changes its value. So question, we don't change the question thoroughly, right? We value can be changed. So let me take the name of the variable q1. Okay, that's equals to, we'll create some question q question, and then am I audible? Here I'm getting. Okay, I'm got it. So we'll take val, and firstly, just a minute. Better, creating a function, I'll write a class. Sorry for my, yeah, we can even create a function, but for understanding, we'll just create a class. Okay. Like, what we'll create a class? We'll create a class name some question. Okay. And then we'll take parameters. What will be the parameters? Like if you're going for an online exam and you're going to fill for three fields, like you're going to create three fields, right? What are the three fields? One is question field, one is answer field, right? So these two fields we are going to create, right? So for that, we'll take two variables. Again, we are using val because the the question that we are going to take, we are not going to modify it for later. So we are taking a variable question text. Okay, question text is one of the variable. So what is the data type of that variable? String, right? I'll just taking string, and then we'll take another variable, that is val answer. What can be the answer kind, what is the data type of the answer? For now, just take string. It accepts all kind of data types, right? String, and then val. So that's it. We're taking two variables in our class. Okay. So, as I told earlier, answer can be three types. What is that? Boolean. It can be Boolean. It can be string, and it can be like it can be some integer value kind of thing. No? So every time when we are creating a question and answer type of variables, we are going to write many classes. We are going to create many classes. Like for example, we are going to create a true or false kind of question. For that, we are taking true or false question, question text, answer. And then for Boolean numeric question, we are taking question text answer. Answer is in type of data structure, and there you're taking Boolean. So writing a very big code, it's like horrible to write a very big code, right? So can you tell me like what might be the other for three types of questions? Like I need to take one is fill in the blank question. Fill in the blank, and then other class was you need to create like this, no, like Boolean. Actually, and this is not a string, and this is a Boolean. And for Boolean means which is true or false. So and otherwise is string type of question, right? Here for due to this only answer field, data type of the answer field, we're going to create many more classes. So what might be the solution in order to use twice? We are going to use question text here only, here also question text type of string type of question text in both the classes. Instead of that, we can use inheritance, right? Inheritance. Like we'll call the Boolean, we'll call the fill in the blank kind of class in Boolean class. That is what inheritance, right? But without you even using inheritance also, there is a solution for me. There is a solution with me. Classes. So what is generic classes? Generic classes is generally they are used for any for example, for answer we are creating generic as a generic as a type of data type. We can use either it can be a string or it can be a Boolean. So then we no need to create two different classes for that. So generic is generally used like that. So if I am using generic class, this might be the so guys, are you getting my point? How we are using generic classes, and like, do you have any doubt, you can ask me, like your mic is on and you can even ask that. Are you clear till now what I have told? So basically what I have told is, like, if a single variable is changing its data type function in three different classes, it is better to use inheritance. But inheritance is, it is a we also have a generic class in Android Studio which helps us to use for different kinds of.
Okay. So before Monica returns, how many of you have attended the past three sessions? You can just raise your hand in the chat box. How many of you have attended the past three sessions? You can just raise your hand or put a hand or emoji or something in the chat box. Okay, nice. Good to see. Anyone? Or at least any three sessions. I didn't mean that you need to attend all the three sessions, like any one of the three sessions. Oh, nice. Okay, Marisa, Pranti, Harshita, Sweta. Thanks for coming, everyone. Okay, very nice. Good to see so many people have attended. Okay, anyone else? Still?
Great. Continue this, you can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, Monica, I can continue.
Yeah, okay. So we have seen how to create inheritance. I think already Sharmila has covered. So that even without using inheritance, there is a method called generic classes, which is used, uh, like for example, for I'll take the same example. Answer can be a string or boolean, right? So if we pass a generic class to that, it can be used as both string and boolean. So let us see how to create a generic what is it? Generic kind of class or function. So let us see how to create a generic function. So I'll take a function and I'll take a main function and then list row. And now I'm going, like, I don't take any variables. Just I'll just um, like here only I'll tell. If we use generic, how we use generics here, I'll just tell you. Open and close parentheses. In this, you need to keep capital T, and then it can be string. And now the answer here, you can keep it as capital T, which can be further used either as any kind of data type. Okay. So now I'm creating a function. Now I'm going to create a function. So let the main function, just take a main function, and then, and now I'm going to create a question. Wait, I'm going to create a one kind of question. Okay. like this. I'm taking variables. These are not the parameters. Here, these are called as parameters, and these are variables. In this main function, we are taking variables. For example, we take qt as a variable, which is question text. What is the data type of it we are going to take? Question text is always string, okay? And then we'll take we'll take answer. We'll take as a sorry, as it's all is there. Here I'm getting blue. Why I'm getting the text as blue? Because as is already a keyword. So that I'm getting let me take ans as a variable. So I'll keep it as t here. So capital D. I'll keep it as t. So this helps us to change the data type whenever we want. Okay. For example, if we are going to create a question, like let me going again where I'll take. Let me take a question number one. For that, uh, question I'm just taking from another function. So question, as I told, question is a string data type, and then go. Let's create some question. So what is Android? This is the question I'm going. And then this is the question. And then now I'm going to create another question. So here we are going to get the answer even, right? So what is the here string is not the data type of the question. It is the answers data type for this question, this specific question that we are taking here. So question, let's take. So what is Android? It's a kind of like descriptive question, right? So the answer data type will be string. So I have used string. So now I'm going to take some another question. Like for example, like it's a kind of true or false question. I am a very good girl. Girl. It's a kind of true or false question, right? So no need to specify the data type of answer as a string. It is a boolean. If we have used the three classes and using those three classes in different ways, it could be a very huge hectic thing for us, right? So this is one of the way we are going to create. Let me take question 3. Now we are going to take integer. Like for example, mm, how many hours you're going to sleep today? It's a kind of integer data type, right? So I'm including int. So whatever maybe the data type that we are using in Android, we can use it here using this t. What is t? It is a generic class. It is used when a variable can be represented in either string, boolean, or it's a kind of string or integer or boolean or any kind of data type that we are used in. So this is what all about this generic classes. And now we are going to see, for example, another kind of question. For example, can you rate the? There is also another type of question, that is Q4. Let me add that Q4. Question is here. What is question? Question is the class that has been created earlier. Like fill in the blanks is the one of the class, right? Here question is a class which is predefined earlier, so that I am using it here now. Okay. So for example, let me take something. Rate my um, rate my class. It can be 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 5 star, or 4 star, or else it can be good, very good, excellent. Okay. These are the only three classes that you are going to arrange for us. So for this, you have only three options. So what you are going to give it? It can be also a string. Other than that, string is kind of, you can add sentences and all here. But rate my class, it is either good, bad, or very good, right? So in these three only you're going to check. For that, there is we can use enum, like enum, enum, which is called as enumerator. Okay. Which is used when only different, like enum is used before the class. Like let me here answer, and then I'll just the parameters. So what are the parameters that we're only going to use that are good, very good, and some bad? Let's add bad even. So these are only three arguments, or three kind of answers that you're allowed to give. So this genome class is used here like this. This is all about like, this is all about generics and enumerators. And now we are going to see how to create. We haven't seen how to create lists, maps, and sets in Kotlin. So now we are going to see how we are going to create lists or maps or um, sets in Kotlin. All these are called as collections, and generally we call sets, lists, and maps in Kotlin as a collection. Okay. Sorry, here little disturbance here. Okay. So we are going to see the syntax how to create collections. First, we'll create arrays. The syntax for arrays is like here, like val, as we know that val we are, for example, we are going to take weeks of the day, the day. Okay. In weeks of the day, so what are the values of weeks of day? It can be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that, no? To create an array, there is a there is an keyword called array of. Array, capital O and F. Array of. What is the data type generally, like Monday, Tuesday, and all? Can anyone say what is the data type for uh, telling all the weeks of the day? It's an integer or boolean or string. Can someone say? Yeah, great. So that's a string, right? So we are going to put it as string. In this, we're going to assign values to it. Monday, comma, Tuesday, Wednesday, comma, Thursday. Let's take, for suppose only these are the things. For example, we do little operations so that I'm only taking those as elements there. So, just a second. Okay. So this is how we'll create arrays in Kotlin. And now let me print enough. Let me print any of the variable. Some five pyramid. Sorry, there is no fifth index, right? Sorry, I didn't create any class or things, right? So this is how we are going to uh, print the specific index valued variable there. This is how we'll generally print. Okay. And now we'll see how to add an element to that. Okay. Just like we use general. Let me add 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Both one as Friday. So that this is how we add. Let me print element in array, and this is how to print an element in array. We generally use for comments. This is used for comments to add an element to array. This is how we'll add elements to array, and this is how we print elements in the array. And for example, if we want to print, you can use for loop to print to access all the elements in the array. So let us see how to create a list. As we know that uh, generally arrays are of all the arrays are of same type, right? Like either all of them are strings or some of them are in. This is the general property. Just to get you know. For example, if we want to create a list, we use here list of. It's the similar thing here, but in order to add an element, we generally use this is also used, and another one to print an element is using get yeah, println of week of day dot get of. We'll use the index here. This is the another way to get an element from the list. And another way to add an element to the list is yeah, another way not like here we can see that lists are generally they are not mutable. In order to add an element in the list, we use add generally. Add instead of wait just a second. My battery is low. Just a minute, I'll be back. So, or else we can even get the index of Friday here. Like this is how we use weekends. Week of day dot index of Monday. So this is how you get the retrieve the index of the day, that particular day. Okay, and we can use here for loop in order to, like, I forgot to, in lists we generally list adding element in list says it may add comments. So we generally add an elements in list using like add function. For example, week of day that add of, for example, in our we are going to add an element at the fourth index, and the name of the element that we are going to add, Saturday. This is how we add an element in the into the index, and we can even remove. For example, if we want to remove, just same thing, but then using remove function. Here we are going to just name is enough in order to remove, and we can see whether a particular element is in the list or not. It is using dot contain of like Monday. It will print whether true or false. Okay. Or else there is another way. Like, for example, like we use for loop to print the loop, right? Here we can also use, you know, at which to know at which position that is present. We use like this, like um, Monday in week of day. Of day, okay. It will print. It will check for the first element. If it is there, it will print true, and it will. If, for example, we are checking for Tuesday, Wednesday, it will give an output as false, false, and then true. It will stop it there. This is how we generally use lists, and these are the things that we are going to add in the list. And we also has a size function. We like using week of day dot size. This is how we see the size of the elements there, and we can also create sets. It can be created using set of, okay. This is how we create different types of lists, sets, and arrays. This is all the function that we are going to see here, that we have seen here. So, so for today, these are all the like little more basics that we have added. Um Little basics that we have had. Someone raised their hand. Is there any doubt?
Monica, it's out. I just asked how many people have attended the previous sessions.
Okay,
So I
okay,
just
fine.
asked them to
Okay,
put
okay.
it.
So, I have completed my basics part. You can continue your tip calculator, what you want to do.
Okay. Thank you, Monica.
Like people, anything you have doubts, like creating list strings, you can just ask me. You can even unmute and ask. Okay, let's continue with Anjali's session. So you can.
As I said, today we're going to build a tip calculator. So, what is basically a tip? Like when you go to restaurants or when you receive service or when someone provides you service, you give a tip. So when you're satisfied with their service, or at least you can see on many food delivery apps, like they show an option called tip. So in order to calculate that, we'll just build a simple application, like how to calculate the tip from the total bill. Okay, but Google also has a tip calculator. I'll just show you. So here it is. Is my screen visible? Can someone respond yes in the chat section? Okay, thank you. So this is a tip calculator by Google. Uh, we'll build a similar application that is this. This is the application we're going to build. So in order to first write the code and all. So what do you see on my screen? Like, I mean, I just want to describe like what is visible. Uh, can someone unmute and say, or at least put it in the chat box? Yeah. What is visible like in this? What can you see? Like, what do you just simply see on the screen on this app? The emulator virtual phone, yeah. What is there in the app?
Pranati, you can speak. You can unmute and speak. Even.
Yeah, anyone can unmute and speak. Like, are you able to? I think you're able to access the microphone, right? Okay. So let me read. So here in the bill amount, you can see something like to enter the amount, and you see another text box where you enter the tip in percentage. And there is something called switch. This is called switch on and off. Like when you want to round up tip. And here it will be displaying the tip amount. Enter and all, these are the actions performed. Like after you enter the tip and the tip amount will be displayed over here. Just click OK. So this is the UI. Whatever I described, this text box and all, that's called the UI part. Okay. So please open your Android Studio, everyone. Um, Now create a new project. Did I studio or is it still loading? If it's still loading, just say yes in the chat box. Or if it wait, is it still on Canvas studio? Okay. So create a new project in that empty composed activity and then next, and your application should be tip time. Okay, so what's the name of your application? Tip, and the background SDK should be API 21 Android 5.0 Lollipop, and then just click finish. So before your grade, we have something good coming up. Like we've conducted, right? So based on that, I mean, just your beginner level apps only. You just build the UI app. You, basically, you can just build the UI of any existing app, like clone apps. You can just build Instagram clone, WhatsApp clone, or Twitter clone, or anything. What you need to just do is just build the UI. Like you can see here, here, you just build a text box and all. Whatever you see on your screen, just the interface part. You don't need to build any backend or something, only just the UI part because Jetpack Compose is all user interface. So, um, we want you to build the apps or clone apps, or you can also build, any apps which are useful from college too. So that is all about the UI hackathon. And major spoiler is that you'll also be receiving for the participants, and the best UI will also be awarded with something good. Obviously, you will be liking it and be excited. Uh, so, did the Gradle build? Can someone respond yes in chat box? Are you there? Or did you just, move somewhere, leave the laptop aside? Okay, yeah. Thank you. I mean, wait, did you say yes that your Gradle is built or did you move away from your laptop? What is that yes for? Okay, yeah, it's built. Fine. Now, in the project pane on your left side, and in your RES, that is resources, you uh, resources, you have values, and in things.xml. Are people following? So in strings.xml, include these lines. Your string name equals to the app name and the description, that is the tip time, and close the string. Then you also include another string called calculate tip, and then the bill amount where you'll be entering the bill amount, and then how was the service, that is 50%, that is this one, and then the roundup tip, another string called roundup tip. This is the thing, roundup tip. Command which you, so these are the strings required. So here to build this, we have got the app name, that is the calculative. Okay, here the app name, the calculative, and then another string called build amount. Calculative, the app name, the calculative bill amount, and then the calculative percent, that is the string name is how is the service, and then roundup tip, another string called roundup tip, and the tip amount which is displayed. Okay, in the project pane, in resources, values, in strings.xml, you will be adding these string names. These string names. Could you do? Could you add it? The string names. Okay. Uh, does anyone like did anyone miss out so that I'll show it again? Could everyone do? I can just see one response. You can just unmute and say yes also. Would be very happy to hear your voice. Okay. So if people are too shy to speak also. Okay, it's fine. Um, actually, and you, instead of this function, you'll be seeing a greetings function. A greetings function and add fun called tip times screen function. Okay. So add a tip times screen function and then now come to the overriding method on create. Under that you have this on create saved instance state. So below that you need to write the content. This displays the content of the app. So that is tip time theme. Okay. In tip time theme, you have a surface where you have this modifier that is fill. So after you write this, in that call tip times screen function. Could you add this? Okay, so after adding this, in our first composable function, tip time scheme, add a variable called amount input. Okay, in amount input, you just write by remember of the mutable state. That is mutable. The nature is also a little serious right now. So sorry for the disturbances in the background. Uh, so you have the fun called tip time screen function, and in that add these variables, the var amount input, like you will be giving the bill amount as input, right? So that is our variable, and mutable state of is used because the amount can be changed, right? The value of the amount can be changed. So that's why you give var and the mutable state of. And then another variable called tip input. That tip percentage also will be changed. So that is also var and mutable. Similarly, roundup. Okay, after you type these three variables, we go for val amount uh, and another three variables for and And the amount can also be zero. In the earlier sessions, we've discussed about null variables. So in Kotlin, we have an option called null variable. And explicitly, when you feel that the variable can have 0 to some n values, then you can specify the nullable variables using this question mark column. Such variables are amount and the tip person. Like it can be 0 or some n. So these are the nullable variables. And next, another variable called tip. Tip is equal to. Here we'll be writing a function called calculate tip. In order to calculate the tip, you need the amount and then the tip person as well as the roundup as parameters. Okay, so amount, the tip person, and then the roundup. How in order to round up to the nearest value, these are the parameters for the calculated function. Okay, are you people following or am I too fast? Are you able to follow? Just uh, yes or I will not. I mean, are people at least listening? Okay, you see, the nature is also like it's not happy that people are not responding them. Like, hello, is anyone there? Is there any problem in writing these, or shall I just move to the previous one, previous section? Can someone just respond? I see 15 attendees, but all 15 attendees seem to be very busy. People enjoying the weather? Are people able to follow, or am I going too fast? You're able to follow, right? You can just say yes or no. Okay. Thank you, Baj. So here, right, writing these variables, adding these variables. Okay, so we'll go to the next variable called focus manager. So this focus manager, it's like um, when you're clicking on this, that is the cursor is moved to the previous text box, right? So the focus is shifted to this text box, and that is to the current. So this implies that okay, this current text box is selected, and the input will be uh, given to this text box. So for that, you have this variable called focus manager, and that is equal to the local focus manager dot current. So after writing all these variables, You just add another variable. This is constant. So this is a constant. I mean, the value of this variable is constant. So you give as val and focus manager equals to local focus manager dot current. So till here we've given all the variables to our composable function tip times 3. Now uh, we'll move on to the column. This is a column function. There are some mandatory functions like column, row, and box in a composable. So this is the first one, column. For that also you have this modifier and its padding is given as 32.dp. Okay. And then in column you have this as the first parameter, and then you have the vertical arrangement, that is how the arrangement is made in your app, the vertical arrangement, like the spacing and all. So you give that as 8 dp. Okay, after that, in your column function, uh, modifier and vertical arrangement are the parameters, and then in column you have the text. In the text function, you have text equals to, that is the resource. Like from you're specifying the what type of text you'll be given, like string resource from R. R is the resource dot string dot calculate tip, and another parameter is the tip. So these are given to your string resource function. And then you'll specify the font size, that is 24 XP. And again, like how do you want the text to be aligned? Modifier dot alignment dot center horizontally. Here you can see the alignment is in the center, not to the left. So you want this text box and all to be aligned in center. Okay. So after you complete the column, and in that you have text, and in that you again have the spacer. Its height is 16 dp. Okay. So and then in that you also edit number, another function called edit number. In that you'll be given you'll give the label as r dot string dot bill amount. That is, here you can see this label, right? Like when you type, just a minute. So when you're typing, this is the similar to placeholder. Like when you type, it just goes up like this. So that is this label. Label equals to this edit number field is the text box where you enter your number, like the amount, bill amount. Okay, in that you give the label, that is the bill amount. See, this bill amount is the label. Okay, and then when you want to type the bill amount, the keyboard should appear, right? So you need to give away the option, like keyboard options. You need to add this keyboard options. So in that keyboard options dot default dot copy, in that function, you have the keyboard type. And when the keyboard appears, like when you type, so when you type on the bill amount, when you click and type, uh, only the numbers should appear. See. Okay. So the keyboard appears, but there should not be any text. There should be only the numbers. Like sometimes you see in some apps, like when you need to enter just number, the letters also appears like it is some fun, but when you enter number, only the number should appear. So that is why keyboard type equals to the keyboard type dot number. So only our number keyboard appears and not the text ones, the alphabets and all. So for that, the action uh, uh, IME, that is for the next action. And you have also many action keys. Uh, like this is the next action key. Now what we have written is for this in keyboard. After you complete this, for example, let's say I'm giving it as 25. Now after I click this action button, it goes to tick next to or next text box. So in order to achieve that, you give this function like INE action equals to INE the next action dot next. Okay. So this is for the first field, edit number field, that is bill amount field. You have given the label called bill amount, and then you've given the keyboard option. In keyboard option, we'll be giving the number, specifically the numbers should appear. And then after you type the numbers on your text box, your bill amount space, it should go to the next one, next text box. So you'll specify this next. Now, again, keyboard actions equals to keyboard actions on next. Like we've told that it's next. So it should have some action associated with it, right? So keyboard actions equals to the keyboard actions function that you have on next. That and focus manager dot move focus of focus direction or down. Like we've gone to the next text box. That means it should go down. Like you need to specify the direction, like the side one or the below one. Okay. So that's why you say it's the focus direction dot down. The focus direction should be down. The text box below the existing one. That is value equals to amount input and on some value changed. You give amount input equals to it. So could you complete till here? So I've completed uh, till the bill amount one. Next, we need to do for the tip. Could everyone complete or shall I show the code again? Can someone respond yes or no in the chat so that I'll specify and I'll show the code again. If you want the code to be seen again, just say yes. Okay, I will. You are following me. Uh, so now we'll go to another numbers field. Edit number field. Another number field called how is the service. Initially in strings.xml, how is the service is nothing but a tip person. Okay, so in resources in strings, R is nothing but resources in string. I mean it's a string in strings. We have specified how is the service, and now we need to give keyboard options for it, right? So the keyboard options equals to keyboard options dot default dot copy. Like similarly, you can just instead of writing it again, you can just copy paste this and tell here this edit number field like this. You can just copy it here, copy and paste it here. So keyboard type equals to keyboard type dot number, and then similarly now here as you see uh, the action as next. So here action as next. Now we need to because here we need to move to the next one that is tip person. But here it's the end of the name. It's just the last text box. So we just need to give the done action. That is, look, this is done. Initially, initially this is the next action. So now when you come to here, the tip person, you're done with it. So for this, for the tip one that is done, you need to include this action, any action dot done. Okay. So after this, you have another one called keyboard action, similarly like the previous one. But here we need to move the focus, that is the focus direction dot down. But here we can just clear the focus because we've completed typing. Our two text boxes are done and we don't need to type anything and there's no text box left also. So what do you do? On done, what you need to just clear the focus after you're done typing. On done, focus manager dot clear focus. Now and again you have here amount input. The value equals to amount input. But here the value equals to tip input. Value changed. The value is equal to it. Okay, this for now this bill amount and the tip. Okay, now we move on to the round it up. That is this switch. We want this switch and this round it up thing. So for this, what do we need to write? Round the tip row. In the round the tip row, you have a parameter called roundup, which is equal to the roundup. And on roundup equals to change. Like in this, so when you click on this switch, so it comes to, when you click on it, the roundup action will be performed. So for that, you say roundup equals to it. And now the spacing and all, like the space between the roundup tip and the switch, and the previous one too. So the height equals to 24 dp and the text equals to uh, so you have after completing this roundup thing, you need to display this tip amount rate. So this is in bold. So the text equals to the tip amount, r string dot tip amount, nothing but this, this thing means, sorry, tip amount in r dot string dot tip amount. You'll be getting this, the tip amount value. And in the modifier, how do you want the alignment? In the modifier, the alignment in align function. In modifier, in align function, you specify the alignment that is in center horizontally. Okay. Now, the font, you'll also specify the font size that is 20 SP, and then the font weight that is bold. Okay, this is the font weight bold. Okay, this will close the text function and then close the what is it? Column one, and then you first finally close the. This is the closing parenthesis for text, and this for column, and this for the composable function. What is a composable function? Tip times screen method. So could everyone complete the tip times screen method? If you could in the chat box. And then I'll just could you complete the first composable function? Okay. Uh, are there any doubts, or at least anywhere I stuck up or something? Or how many of you could complete till here? You can just rest. How many of the first composable function? Pick times 3. Are people there?
Yeah, team, you have any problem in doing the thing, or else you can respond in the chat.
Uh, okay, so I'll continue with the next composable. Then, if you have any queries, or if you are stuck up anywhere, or if you want the code to be shown again, or if you have any errors, just respond in the chat box. So, moving on to the next composable function, edit number field. Our next composable function is edit number field. In that, you just give a string resource where the label is int, and then keyboard options. The keyboard options, and then the keyboard actions. You specify the keyboard option and then keyboard actions. And what value you'll be entering, that is string. I mean, the value here in the sense, these, the values, the string names you have specified. Okay, on the value is changed. For suppose if there is any change in the value, or the if you have given another variable name apart from this, okay, then it would return the string as unit. By default in Kotlin, when the value is changed, or the apart from the declared value, if you give another variable name, it returns it, or the function name at least, it returns it as unit. Okay, and then another modifier, you specify the modifiers. Okay, these are the parameters passed for the edit number field function. So in that, you have a text field. In the text field, you have value, and then it's mostly single line. Like in single line only, we'll be entering our inputs. So it's single line equals to true and not a paragraph. So modify the fill max width, and then on value changed. Like when the value is changed, you move on to the next one, and then the label, and then similarly keyboard options and actions. This is for these are the parameters for the function edit number field. And in edit number field, you have another function called text field. Okay, in text field, you have these parameters. Okay, so you end uh, the function called edit number field, this composable function called edit number field. Okay, so could you complete? Okay, I'll just wait for 2 minutes. So you just complete typing it. So okay, so let's move on to the next composable function, that is the function called round tip row. Round the tip row, that is this. Previously in the tip time screen composable function, we have just added this. We didn't add this switch. So here we'll be adding in this round the tip row function, we'll be adding that switch. So round up value, it's switch indicates that, look, when you click the switch, okay, let's see in the analyzer. Okay, so when you click this switch, it says like you take the clicking of the switch as a boolean value. If you click it, it considers as true, and if you just unclick it, then it's false. So you need to represent that action in the form of a boolean. So what you do is, for a variable called roundup, you assign the boolean value. When the roundup, when it's changed, you assign it to the unit and then the modifier. In that, you have a function called row. In row, you'll specify the modifier. In that modifier, give the fill max width function, and then you want this roundup tip hinge to the center horizontally. So you give the alignment, and in that, in the row, what is the text? The text is from the string resource r dot string dot roundup tip. The roundup tip is the function we have declared earlier. Okay. So in that, so in order to get this switch, you give this switch function. Okay. So switch function, and then in that you'll give a modifier for that fill max width function, and then the width, that is the wrap content width and all. The alignment will be end. Like you want this to be the right side, like end. And then if it is checked, if the switch is checked, that is when you click on the switch, it means that you want the tip to be rounded up, the tip amount to be rounded up. And then on check changes, on roundup change. And if you observe, when you click this, the color is changed. So for this option, you need to give colors equals to switch defaults dot colors of the unchecked thumb color is dark gray. Like when you here they gave by default the color of this by unchecked, it's I think it's given as the brown. I think it's cyan color, like blue simply. Um, the switch is unchecked. The color you give is dark green. Okay, so this is the it's switch function. And then you end this not row. Yeah. This is the end of the colors function, and this is the end of switch, and this is the end of our uh, round the tip. Okay, so this is the end of the composable round the tip row. Okay, this code is for the round the tip row, that is this and the switch. I mean, initially you'd be wondering, like, we also wrote a function for this round the tip, but that is only for this. But here we are adding a switch. So for that, you write this code. Okay, the switch and its color, like when it's checked, what value needs to be taken and all. Okay, could you people do it till here? Just feel free to answer in the chat box or speak. Like, it's not an official class or something. It's just us, just students. Or if you have any customized colors or the features, also you can just share some ideas. Like, instead of taking this uh, switch like this, or the change of the color of the switch, or at least the layout, if you have some any better ideas, you can also share. Does anyone have any such ideas or any suggestions, like how we want to customize it further? Are people there? Can someone respond? Okay. So, do you have any suggestions, Bharti? Any suggestions? Anyone else? Participants, but uh, Mansa, Dharmi, Harika, Sweta, Kansya, Vasita, Mika. Okay. Uh, what kind of background? Okay, you want to change the coloring. So basically, we haven't specified any background there. So where do you want, like, uh, so where do you want to add the background? What is that no? Which one will you say? Uh, what is that no for? Okay. So yeah, uh, we'll add a background in the end, and then we'll come to customer options also. Okay. Um, so any more suggestions you can just add in the chat box too. Like one suggestion is that uh, we want to add background, like it's just plain, of course. So we want to add something, and any other suggestions also you can just add in the chat box. So we've completed till here the round tip row. And one more thing we can do in this Android Studio is that it provides testing. Like you can do automated testing as well as the implement testing. Just write this piece of code at visible for test, and just and when it is Then, since I said there are two types of testing, so based on creating some Kotlin files, you can perform the testing. Like you don't need to like go for external websites like testing tools or something. Android Studio provides the inbuilt testing feature, so you can just test your app in the Android Studio itself by just adding this. Uh, Annotation at visible for testing. Okay, so in the next, that is tomorrow's session, we'll be discussing about testing also, but for today, we'll just continue with this, just the building of the app. So this is a very good feature of Android Studio where you can just test your app here itself. Okay, so now just write this preview. Like we want to preview the app, right? So at preview, give this annotation at preview, composable function called tip time screen preview function, and in that you call this tip time theme and then the tip time screen method. Okay, this comes to an end. Okay, this is the code for the app. So could you complete or do you want some more time or I stuck up somewhere? And once you complete, just run the app on your emulator. I think everyone has like added the emulator. You have your own emulator. If not, you can also just try it on your mobile. Okay, if someone could complete writing the whole app, just guess in the chat box first. One guess. So how many people could complete the app? Yes, or something. If you couldn't, also it's not an issue. I just show the code again, and I'll send the code too. And if anyone couldn't do this emulator, if you can add it, just share your screen so that I'll just guide you like how to build your emulator because I already have one. Or could did anyone run the app? Did you get the preview, or is your app successfully running? Okay then. Since we're coming to the end of the session, I'll just share a form. You just fill it like how many sessions, all the details. Uh, I've shared the link of the form in the chat. Uh, Please fill it. Thank you, Bharti, for filling out the form. Uh, Remaining people also, please don't forget to fill the form. I'll be sharing this form even in the compost camp group too. So please don't forget to fill the uh, because we'll be considering even this to while giving out the certificates of the compost camp. And there are also separate swags and certificates for UI hackathon too. But this is for the participation, for successful participation in the compost camp sessions. So don't forget to fill the form. Okay, then if you fill the form, you can just leave the meeting. It's a day. We can just call it a day. Thank you so much for attending. I hope it was informative and as well as interactive too. So thank you everyone for taking your time out to attend the session. If you have filled the form, you can leave the meeting.